Texas. Yeah. So this is another Texas story. Some of you have heard this and some of you haven't, but it's pretty classic by this point. When we immediately moved in, we were in an apartment for a while, and then we bought a house. And the neighbors at the house have a little dog, one of those little Paris Hilton dogs. You know, like somebody put a husky in the dryer too long, one of those little yippy little white things. Very cute, super ridiculous. And the dog's name is Snow White. I can't call it Snow White in good conscience, so I called it Prancer for a while, but that didn't work out. So eventually I called it Snow White. When we first moved into the house, the neighbor came over and he said, do me a favor, the dog belongs to my 8-year-old daughter. She's super attached to it, and the dog has a tendency to dig under the fence and get out and run around the cars. And if it gets squished by a car, she's going to cry and it'll be horrible. So if you see it running in the street, do me a favor and bring the dog back over the fence. No problem. So I am moving in. And I have been moving boxes for about 8 or 10 hours in the Texas sun from the apartment to the new house, and look very Run, Ronnie, Run. Very, you know, the guy on Cops that has the meth lab in his truck, shirtless, gross, disgusting, kind of like now, dripping sweat and covered in cardboard. And I am just unloading the last box, and I turn to look to see Snow White skipping out from under the fence across the road. Fuck. Throw my shirt off, go running after the dog. Come here, Snow White. Snow White, come here. Jumping over hedges, rolling in dirt, run around the corner into 4 12-year-old skateboarders, and this is how it played out. Have you boys seen Snow White? I'm looking for Snow White. At which point they all screamed and ran away. I have been in the neighborhood exactly 1 day and I've already violated Megan's law. So, eventually catch the dog, kick it back under the fence, seal that shit up, neighbor comes home, high five, share a beer, it's all good. 2 days later, I'm on the back porch, and the back porch of all these houses, the yards are surrounded by a fence, and you can kind of see 1 yard over, more or less. I look over, and I'm on the back porch, totally shit-faced again, random I know, cooking, and I see Snow White, and this is 2 days later, and she has gone through the doggy car wash. So Snow White is now puffed out and fluffy and white as snow with a big red bow. And since I'm trashed, I proceed to do this. Who's the pretty one? Who's the most delectable thing I have ever seen? Is it you? Or is it me? I think it's you. I would just like to eat you up, yes I would. I'd like to devour you. Would you like to eat me? Because I'd like to eat you. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to eat you. I'd like to cover you in barbecue sauce, and I'd like to eat you up right now. And from 2 yards over, I see one of the same skateboarding kids go. And run inside. Fucking true story. That is 110% true.